you know, because we've had such extreme heat, you know, for a while right now, it's really put these fish into a late summer pattern already, you know. Green here.
Let's pour up a little bit Mesquite Bean Coffee. Hope you can see that. Oh, I wish you could smell it too.
Welcome to A Sportsman's Life. We're so glad you tuned in to join us for another exciting real-world outdoor adventure right here on A Sportsman's Life.
Getting out. It's going to be interesting getting in. There's a river way down. I think this is a beaver. I just saw kind of the profile. Well, there might have been again. Do you have any river otters down here?
Yes, sir.
When I first saw it, it looked like the head
pattern. Sometimes these fish will slow down on eating some just because the water temps are so warm.
Right.
But you know, because we've had such extreme heat, you know, for a while right now, it's really put these fish into a late summer pattern already,
yeah.
You know. So that fish there is probably pushing 7. Just trying to. There's a couple of pretty good fish. When it gets summertime like this, like a later summertime bite, I'll cut my baits a little smaller because they're so finicky.
Yes, sir.
You know, like when me and you fished before.
Right.
A lot of times these fish would, you know, of course, pick the bait up and run with it a distance and then eat it. Here lately, they've been, you know, you have quite a few fish that just pick the bait up. They'll run a short distance and then just spit it out.
And they spit it out.
And never touch it again. I don't know what. You know, you would think a predatory fish like these gar, when they got a fresh piece of food, they just eat it right up.
Right. But they are finicky, aren't they?
Oh yeah, and then, you know, of course, when the bite's really a real good bite, these fish will just pick the bait right up and just eat it right away.
Eat it right away.
It just depends on the time of the year and how they're feeding.
Move out of the way here, son.
Scatter them out.
Yes, sir.
They got that hook in there. I'll put out three rods.
Sitting there, and then all of a sudden, oh my God, the world, you know, just blows. It literally blows up.
I think, you know, one of the things that's like different about these fish is because of their size. I mean, when you have a fish take the bait, you just never know. It might be 20 pounds, excuse me, 20 pounds or 220 pounds,
Yeah.
you know, when it takes the bait. The way this transducer on this live scope is pointing, it's pointing directly away from this handle. So this is your view, like going basically straight away from the handle right here. And you know, you seeing your left side, which would be here, and then your right side. And like this right here would be this left-hand bank down through here. It's seeing, and it's amazing. You don't realize how many small, like all this stuff here is just smaller bait fish in the water. All this sparkling stuff. And a lot of times these fish, like when you idle up in a spot, they'll move out of there, but then they'll just sort of work their way back in.
Brought to you by Dallas Safari Club, Conservation, Education, and Hunter Advocacy. Hornaday, accurate, deadly, dependable. Taurus Firearms, maker of the Raging Hunter. Trigicon, brilliant aiming solutions.
I've seen multiple big fish on the electronics, and they just weren't coming up. Seen one real big fish roll, you know, the whole time we were there, and like I said, I knew there were numerous fish in that spot. They just wouldn't come into the surface.
When the water is really warm, is there less oxygen or more oxygen?
Less.
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
See, like right now, well, the back of the boat's showing a little warmer because of the exhaust, but it's showing 86, you know, is our water temp right now. And then as the day progresses, it'll push probably around 90 degrees.
Wow.
And this stretch of the Trinity is a little bit different. There's a lot of, you know, 8-10 foot water down through here.
Right.
You know, the other stretch I fish, a majority of that's just 1, 2, 3 foot deep. There's numerous places you can literally just walk right across the river now. It's knee deep or less. You're sitting here, big fish picks your bait up, pulls out line, might go 100, 150 yards at times with it, and then it'll pull over, stop, and then start and eat the bait. And then normally when they take off again, they've ate it completely. But these fish are almost like a lot of saltwater fish, in the fact that in this river, they never stop moving. They're constantly swimming. You never ever see one of these gar. Now, in aquariums like at Athens, some of them big gar would just lay there and float. But I'm telling you, when I'm sitting here, these gar are constantly swimming. Yeah. Constantly. Huh. They come up river and then they'll just float back. And it's just not, most fish just don't do that, especially in freshwater. I guess in saltwater they call it pelagic or whatever. But they literally never quit moving.
I'll be done.
As far as setting the hook on these fish, when you lock the reel in gear, let the rod start to load up, and then as soon as it starts to load, literally try to break their neck. Reel down and try to set the hook on him.
Get started.
I'm gonna just flip that lever, reel down. Set it? Yeah, as soon as you feel him. And he may have just been swimming with the bait in his mouth. Yeah, that's probably just the case. Yep. swam upriver and then spit it out. Yeah.
Be careful, Bob.
Does it make you feel better or worse about yourself, don't they?
And there's so much, you know, to talk about live scope and the way it's changed fishing. Like, that's a big fish there.
That's a big fish, yes, sir.
We just got to cross our fingers and hope it's the right size. We need a good one. This fish is still, can't tell which one holds this one. You can reel all the way down.
It's a fish.
This, just a chunk off of it. Bring him here. Bring it to the front, or what I'll do, I'll grab him. Put here, I'm gonna swing him around you.
Cool. All right. You gonna fight until you haul a calf rope.
That's it. Hold on till you tell me to do something else.
Nice fish.
Well, that fish is long and lean. Look
He
at that
is long
snout.
and lean. She is.
Big head. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. That fish's head is big for the body.
Yeah. When I saw the head come out,
Proportionate.
I thought it was a bigger fish.
Yeah, proportionate. It's built really, really weird.
Yeah.
Cool fish.
I think it was the gar that did that to you.
What a cool fish.
There's something else. I've actually found some of their skeets like that, or whatever you want to call them, at Indian campgrounds away from the water quite a way.
Yeah.
To where they obviously were used as arrow points. You could see where they'd actually sharpen them, kind of thing.
That is so cool. What a neat. So strong.
Oh my God, they are.
Tag 5335. It is 54.5 inches long.
Get a picture of that tag.
And they have a tag number and of course a phone number. All right. Just watch that head.
Yeah.
Got it.
What's that?
Yeah, the business end.
A Sportsman's Life is also brought to you by Air Force Air Guns, AGM Global Vision, H3 Whitetail Solutions, Pyramid Air, Gear the Hunt, and Horizon Smokers. Conservation Today is brought to you by Hayden Outdoors Real Estate, the brand that sells the land. Visit HaydenOutdoors.com to find or sell your farm, ranch, or recreational property.
We're getting quite a population of deer here, so it's time to try to start taking some things. Let's walk over here. I noticed one of the things that they're really eating right now is this boat arc right here. We call our boys D arc, BOIS-D-ARC. Some people call it Osage orange, some people call it horse apple. But if you'll notice, all the leaves here where a deer can reach without getting up on its hind legs, they're non-existent. The same thing right now I noticed that they're eating a lot of is this greenbrier. You can see right here. See how it's been hedged? You can actually see where it's been nipped off. They're eating a lot of that. Here particularly, look at this one. You can see where they've been eating the fresh shoots coming off. So generally what I try to do this time of the year is in the next several weeks, next several days actually, I'll go get some triple 13 fertilizer, and I'll find little pockets of this greenbrier or smilax, whichever you want to call it, and I'll try to fertilize a little bit. You can actually create your own food plot by fertilizing some of these native plants like this. Wherever you have the smilax, a friend of mine from New Mexico used to call it green barbed wire, but it's got a lot of thorns on it, as you can see, and they, ouch, that's what they do, is they hurt you.
Well, friends, we are about to harvest some beans from this mesquite tree. Back on the other side is some really ripe ones, and we are going to make some of the most tasty coffee that you've ever drank. Just an old mesquite tree, love it or hate it. You know, the American Indians, the Indians of the Southwest, they got about 20% of their diet from the mesquite beans and the roots and products that they made, meal that they made from the mesquite beans. So let's get some of these beans picked and dried, and then we will make some tasty coffee. What do you say? Well, folks, you can see our beans are roasting and toasting right here. If you like a dark roast, you just let them go a little bit longer. This is about the right consistency here that I like. So let's let these toast a little bit more. By the way, to grind these, you can grind them with any kind of coffee grinder. This is my little portable coffee grinder right here. Works like a charm. You just basically just crank this thing and grind them up. So let's let them finish toasting out here, and then we'll let them cool, and we will proceed to make some coffee. Friends, I have my beans. I broke them up, put them in the little grinder, so I'm just going to grind the daylights out of these things for 4, 5, 6, maybe take 6 minutes. I want them real fine, and then we're going to put them in this pot, this old campfire coffee pot, and make us some cowboy coffee out of mesquite beans. So let me keep working on this, and we'll get our coffee heated up and get it going. Okay, my friends, we have our coffee should be ground up nicely, and it is a natural sweet flavor to this mesquite bean. If you've ever chewed on a mesquite bean when you're out hunting, you'll taste that the sugar content. This makes an awesome drink. So we got our water boiling. Let's dump this in here. Yeah, it's ground up pretty good. We're gonna let this boil for about 3 minutes, like you were making cowboy coffee. Let it boil till it extracts all the flavor out of those ground up beans. So we'll pour us up a cup here in just a bit. Well, my friends, our cowboy coffee has been boiling about 3 minutes. That should extract all that good flavor. Let's cut the heat off, cut the flame off. And you know, if you pour a little cold water on the top of boiled coffee, cowboy coffee, creek coffee, whatever you want to call it, a little cold water, just a little bit around the top, that'll settle the grounds. So there we go. That'll sink those grounds to the bottom, and when we pour it, we'll have some really good mesquite bean coffee. Well, friends, our coffee is cooled just a little bit, and I can tell that everything is settled, all the grounds. Let's pour up a little bit mesquite bean coffee. Hope you can see that. Oh, I wish you could smell it too. Good gosh, that smells good. This stuff has got a natural sweetness to it. You don't need to put sweetener in it. Take a little sip here. Friends, I think you're going to like this, and I think you're going to start competing with the deer and the hogs for those mesquite beans. Hope this little video helps you a little bit. Get you some mesquite beans. They dry out they start drying out on the trees about in June and right on through the fall. Get some and try this. I think you're going to like it. If not, you're going to impress a lot of people around your deer camp, I guarantee you. It's good stuff, folks. Folks, thanks so much for joining us. This segment of our show is brought to us by Gearhead Archery, Snaplock Hunting Blinds, Smoking Texas Electric Smokers, TRHP Outdoors, Ultramatic Feeders, and Catfish Pro Catfish Bait and Catfishing Supplies. Make sure and tune in next week. We'll have another exciting show ready to go for you.